a breath. And what do you have for honorable mentions?
All right. My honorable mentions are
Go for it.
Turk and Carla,
Okay.
Finn and Rachel,
Okay.
Jesse and Becky,
Okay.
Dan and Roseanne,
Oh, wow.
and my couple from Parenthood, Crosby and Jasmine.
Oh, good one.
The young couple trying to make their way through.
That's a good one. I like that one. That's a really good one.
So.
Well, for me, I have, I'm just putting Mike and Molly on my honorable mention, even though they should have been on my top 5. I have Ross and Rachel because of the ever-ending will they, won't they. I love them. I really do. And their chemistry is amazing. So
I mean, their chemistry.
That's why they're not in my top 5, because they were never together long enough.
They're you know.
But JD and Elliot from Scrubs.
Okay.
Which I again, another one of the on and off again. The last season I loved because they were together the whole time, which made it for me. Sean and Angela from Mermaid Road.
Okay.
Which again, the couple you don't expect, and I love them so much. And this one's for you, DJ and Steve.
DJ.
I almost forgot you. I almost didn't realize you were going to put them.
I was thinking about DJ and Steve, but I really tried to stick with my one couple per show. And for me, Jesse and Becky, you got to see them from hating each other. Well, Becky hated Jesse.
What a surprise. The girl always hates the guy. I've noticed like a trend here.
Them falling in love, babies. I mean, they had marriage problems. Not everything was sunshine and roses. And
yes, people, that does happen on TV. I don't know. You know what I mean? In comedy, they did it right back in the day.
So.
They did it right.
Well, we have a deal where we each get to pick 5 different celebrities that we can sleep with. And the other one can't get met.
The heart of every healthy relationship. Honesty, respect, and sex with celebrities.
So, to make this a little more intriguing, we not only have opposite sex lists, we have same sex lists. So this should be a very interesting show.
See, and that's, like, I'm more comfortable with the same sex list than you are.
This is going to be interesting for me.
Like,
Sal just cringed.
yeah.
So Scotty. Hi, Scotty, by the way. I know you're listening.
Hey, non-boo.
Funny part is we're recording this, and me and him are hanging out tomorrow. So he'll hear this afterwards, and he'll be like, really? You did this last night? So, all right. I guess, how do we want to do this? Want to do opposite sex first?
Whatever you want.
I think let's do opposite sex first. Then we'll have very interesting ones on the other side.
Okay.
Okay? So why don't we get started here? We'll start from the bottom to the top on top 5 list.
Okay.
Go for it.
So my number 5 is Zac Efron.
Surprise.
Yeah, I know. I often joke that when we watched High School Musical for the first time, that I had to Wikipedia him to make sure that he was legal.
That wasn't a joke. That actually happened.
No, it really happened. And when I found out he was legal, he's been on my list ever since.
Yes, in High School Musical 1, which was such a long time ago. I didn't realize it a long time ago that happened.
It definitely was, but he's definitely gotten better with age.
Pictures do prove that. Why is their translator on so late? I'll have to fix that later. Definitely fun. I think that's a fun one. I think he kind of blew out of the scene outside of High School Musical with like the comedies he's doing now.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people, he's on more people's radars now than he even was doing the musicals, which is actually interesting. What the last movie he did? What was it? Him and what was it? The neighbor and what was the name? Who was he with in that movie?
Seth Rogen.
We haven't seen it yet, but the duo this looked fun. It really looked like a lot of fun. All right, my number 5 is going to kind of surprise some people out there that don't know me very well. But she's from the WWE, and not the person you're thinking of, because she comes up later. This is actually backstage announcer and also the one of the voices of Superstars. She actually does play on Superstars. Renee Young, the beautiful Renee Young, and I loved her from day one. Like the minute she popped up on the screen, like, who is this? Who is this? Who is this lady? Who is this person? She's beautiful, and I think she's awesome, and she's funny, and she's quirky, and all the things I kind of like. Honey, comment on Renee.
She is the type of girl that I would love to look like, and I hate her because of her boyfriend, who I will mention later.
We'll get there. We will get there. So definitely cool. Continue on.
My number 4 is another long-standing person on my list. I've liked him since Saturday Night Live.
Ah, I see where this is going.
Jimmy Fallon. I think he's an overall great guy. I think he's funny, and he's not like conventionally attractive, but like he's the dorky attractive that
makes sense for you.
Yep.
That oddly makes perfect sense. I'm not gonna lie. Dorky attractive seems to be your way of thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Hence your husband.
Yep.
I just gave her a look for those wondering. That's why I paused there for a second.
And I didn't care for those wondering.
All right, well, let's move on to me. And this is my number 4. Actually, I was more thinking about Jimmy Fallon. From the minute we actually started dating, you told me you're obsessed with Jimmy Fallon. I mean, from his CD. You own his CD. Someone here actually owns his CD.
I do. I do.
I just want to make a note of that. That's really important to note. So, my number 4. Interesting about this list is that someone on this list didn't really exist 3 years ago, so everyone kind of got moved down a slot.
Mm-hmm.
Just want to note that. So, number 4 is the lovely from The Big Bang Theory, Kelly Hugo, Penny from The Big Bang Theory.
Yep.
And have you noticed something ever since like the engagement and marriage, she's tamed down her outfits on the show?
She definitely has.
I've noticed that they got mature, which is not a bad thing because she's still really pretty. I'm not complaining about it. I'm just saying it's weird. They tamed her down, which that kind of makes sense when you mature a character, I guess.
But are you disappointed?
Kind of, sort of. But then again, remember were they in Vegas or something, and she came out in that nice dress.
Mm-hmm.
So it's occasionally she comes out. It works out nicely. It's a nice moment when she does. But I love her character anyway, and I love her as a general. She's really cool. So, moving on.
My top 3 should be absolutely no surprise to anyone.
It should be the order that should be.
It's the order that will be kind of surprising to some. So my number 3 is number 12 on the field and number 1 in your heart, Mr. Aaron Rodgers. And I'm going to say right now, shut up, Scotty.
Yeah, Mr. Aaron Rodgers, who, again, at time of recording, is not exactly playing the best football right now, but definitely one of the best quarterbacks of all time. Can't argue that point. Really can't argue it. And
I guess the thing that, like, at least, I mean, for sure the top 3 have, is not only do I think they're attractive, they're just genuinely nice guys.
Yeah, he does stuff for the Mac Fund.
Yeah.
All the time, and those commercials with Gruber, as much as I don't like him, are awesome. Because they're sweet. They're so sweet. And I also got to know him better on his radio show. When he did his radio show, he was awesome. Like, amazing. Awesome.
Can I just say that he can show up at our front door any time? Please.
Unfortunately, she puts them on her Christmas list, and that can't really happen, unfortunately.
Yeah, actually, my top 3 were actually...
I think all 3 of them, right?
Yes, all 3 of them were on my Christmas list. I will take them under the tree in my stocking, however
you want to put it.
However I can get them. All 3 of them at the same time. I'm not picky.
Anyway, we'll move on. My number 3 is, ironically, the oldest crush on here possible. Because it goes back to, like, the 90s. Because this person literally started in the 90s, and I fell in love with her in the 90s, and then she had disappeared for a while, and now is back on television in the exact same role she was in the 90s. We're talking about, of course, Daniel Fishel, Topanga, on Boy Meets World, now Girl Meets World, who, oh my God, has gotten hotter with age. Honey, your thoughts?
I wanted to be her growing up.
Oh, then I'm glad we got married, because I had a ridiculous crush on her when I was younger.
I'm glad that that's the only reason you're glad we got married.
You know what I mean. In this conversation, we always talk about that. It's funny, a lot of times, like, that happens all the time. Like, you have a crush on someone that I grew up liking or whatever. It happens all the time. It's weird how that works out with us. You know? So, very, very cool. Moving on. Go ahead.
My number 2 is the lunatic fringe, Renee Young's boyfriend, Dean Ambrose. It's no surprise.
What's funny is there's a lot of, because I was looking up stuff a couple of weeks ago, just because we were going back and forth talking about stuff, and there was a lot of controversy on whether Ambrose and Young were actually dating. There's a lot of controversy on the internet, and they are officially, according to the Renee Young Twitter, they are officially dating. I just want to note that.
Well, I will say that she is a lucky bitch, because I love a man who can rock a wife beater.
And wrestles in jeans?
Yeah, wrestles in jeans and wears leather and is, like I've said several times, he's the closest thing I will ever get to a bad
You've
boy.
said that many, many times.
And I can't even tell you why I really like him, because he's not the stereotypical, like, clean-cut, nice guy wrestler. But I love him as a wrestler.
He could be the best anti-hero we've had since Austin, actually, to be
Yeah,
honest.
and he's just outside of,
Conventional thinking.
Jonathan Good, his real name.
Yeah.
Like, he's just a really decent guy who's, like, he does charity work, he's funny. Yeah.
Well, the funny
So,
part about Ambrose, John Moxley, as some people do know him as well, is that he's hysterical, though. He's hysterical. Like, he's just funny in general.
And it's quite often that a Monday does not go by without me saying "Dat Dean Doe."
If you get to see him, like this week, you did get to see him.
Yes.
And yeah, I'm not going to get into that. Trust me, if everything goes right, my venting session about Monday Night Raw is already aired on this show, so I won't get into that now. We're happy thoughts. Anyway, speaking of happy thoughts, my number 2. Now, this is going to maybe surprise some people that she's number 2 and not number 1, but number 1 is kind of a long-standing one that's not going to change. So, my number 2 is the lovable, huggable, the current NXT Women's Champion, Bayley. My girl Bayley. Love her. She is beautiful. And I remember the minute I started watching NXT and I started watching her wrestle, you made fun of me because you had no clue who she was.
Mm-hmm.
Sal making fun of me on the show because he's not really watching NXT, and people were unbelievably making fun of me for my love for Bayley. And I was one of the early jumpers on her, and now she's becoming a massive star.
Bet you'd like to jump on her.
Yes, I would. I'm not going to BS that right now. I think she's beautiful. I think I'm not even talking about just in the ring. I've seen pictures of her outside of the ring, like on Breaking Ground and things like that, and she is great. And her personality is amazing. I love how bubbly she is, and I love how it's fun to talk to. Your thoughts on Bayley, or you want to wait till later?
We will wait until later.
Okay, continue on then. What do you want to do? You want to do number 1 now, or you want to go the outside the top 5 list?
I'll do my honorable mentions and then my number 1.
Just outside.
So the guys that just missed the cut. Although I do have to say one special shout out to Corey Monteith, because
if he didn't pass away, he's still on this list.
Yeah.
It's a weird one to be in memoriam. It's a weird one.
Yep, because to be completely honest, Jimmy Fallon would have been an honorable mention if Corey was still alive, because Corey was always on my top 5.
Yeah, I remember when I was trying to find our old lists, and I found our old list, and I sent you the list, and he's like, oh my gosh, Corey!
Exactly.
That was your reaction. His picture's still up by your side of the bed.
Yes, so he gets a special shout out for sure.
Deserved.
But my actual honorable mentions are John Fatu, also known as Jimmy Uso. I don't care that they're twins. I can tell the difference.
She goes through this every week with me. Every single week.
And I felt
I'd be loving the fact, by the way, the main event last night was Reigns' partners were the Usos and Dean Ambrose.
Yes.
That was his partners on Raw Monday night.
But I also, you see a lot more of John as John on Total Divas.
Yes, for the Trinity.
And, he's funny and he's cute.
He's entertaining. He's really entertaining. Why don't they let him be like that on television more often? I have no idea.
And then this one will make Scotty happy.
Oh, yeah. Yep, I know where you're going with this.
Cesar Azpilicueta, Aspie, as I call him. He is a soccer player for Chelsea, and
Scotty just applauded. Just applauded or wooted. One of the. By the way, if you're because he'll listen to this while you're at work.
Yeah.
If you hear me woot, that was him hearing this part of the show.
Or he'll just email me.
One or the other.
Scotty introduced me to him, obviously.
Really?
And
It doesn't sound like someone you would find on your own.
exactly. Like when Scotty was